The Cannabis Conference and Expo returns to Toronto, June 1st through the 3rd. This exciting event is free for cannabis retailers and will feature Tommy Chong receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Cannabis Industry Awards. There are still good booth locations available. For more information about exhibiting or to register to attend, go to ocannabis.com. That's OCANNABIZ.com. Welcome. You're listening to Casually Baked, the podcast. Home base for the Canna curious. Thanks for tuning in.
It's high time. We had a high time together. Yes, it's a high time. We had a high time together.
Hi, y'all. I'm Jo, your host and cannabis lifestyle guide. In honor of harvest, I dug up these classic tales featuring 3 voices from Briceland Forest Farm. I originally captured these conversations during harvest of 2019. Collaborating with and learning from craft farmers is one of my favorite parts of this cannabis gig. Briceland Forest Farm is a small second-generation family farmstead and cannabis and market farm in Humboldt County, run by husband and wife duo Daniel and Taylor. Their family lives and farms with the goal of not only sustaining, but improving and restoring the land through their practices. Their mission is to grow the best quality cannabis and food crops possible while improving the health of the natural environment, quality of the soil, and quality of life for their family and greater community. I'm one of those people who has sticky notes everywhere, and one of the message that stuck around the longest, pun intended, it says, simplify to amplify. And Briceland Forest Farm makes that concept an agricultural work of art. But enough gushing. A word from our sponsor, MJ Relief, the muscle rub Ph.D. formulated for what aches and pains you. And this week, we'll hear Linda's story of relief.
Hello, I'm Linda from Texas, and I've been using MJ Muscle and Joint Relief for a couple of years now. I have lower back degenerative disease and arthritis. I also suffer from shoulder and arm pain. I apply the rub first thing of the morning and the last thing before I go to bed at night, and I honestly don't know what I'd do without it.
If you're feeling Linda's arthritis pain and want some muscle and joint relief of your own, head over to mjskinrelief.com and order a tube for you and another one for someone you love. That's mjskinrelief.com. And if you're already a fan of MJ Relief, please send a video or voice memo like Linda and let me share your story of relief on the podcast. Say hi to @MJSkinRelief if you're a social butterfly. The Sustainability Roll-Up is presented by OCB Rolling Papers. In perfect harmony with natural sustainable practices, it's always been the OCB signature to provide the highest quality, responsibly sourced, and sustainably crafted rolling papers. Our third tale of harvest today is told by a WWOOFer. And what's that, you might ask? The Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms USA is part of a worldwide effort to link visitors with organic farmers, promote an educational exchange, and build a global community conscious of ecological farming practices. Visitors are called WWOOFers. They spend about half of each day helping out on a farm. They learn about organic agriculture, and they share in daily life with their host. The length of a visit can vary from a single day, called local woofing, to a few months. WWOOF USA links you to over 1,500 organic host farms in the USA. If that sounds interesting, but you're not sure that you're WWOOFer material, ask yourself these 5 questions. Am I interested in and passionate about organic farming and sustainable living? Am I eager to learn and excited to contribute to the sustainable agricultural movement? Am I willing to partake in the physical demands involved with farming? Am I interested in meeting people from different cultures and backgrounds? And am I enthusiastic to experience the, quote, real American lifestyle and meet and live with American families? Now, if you answered hell yes to all 5 of those questions, I've got more woof info waiting for you in the Potcast 207 show notes at casuallybaked.com. And if you're looking for the real rolling paper experience, look no further than OCB. OCB is the largest rolling paper brand in the world, crafting naturally since 1918. Unlike most other brands that buy their paper from a third party, OCB oversees the entire paper-making process, ensuring a century of quality straight to your hands. All OCB papers are plant to puff and made in a facility that's powered by 100% green energy. And you'll find no GMOs, no chlorine, and no dyes in OCB papers. Of course, you must be 21 and older to buy OCB rolling papers and to follow the natural wonders of OCB on social at OCB_USA. And for you grown-up joint rolling novices out there, I invite you to learn the craft alongside me. Catch the Roll With Me video series live streaming on the Casually Baked YouTube channel with replays on the WeedTube and IGTV. Get your Roll With Me starter kit at ocbusa.com/baked. You'll get 4 booklets of OCB and a rolling tray for only $4.99. This bundle is worth $20 and is around for a limited time. But the rolling skills and street cred we'll earn together, my friend, makes this offer priceless. Variety is the spice of life, so sample the entire line of OCB products and let me know your favorite. Ask for OCB wherever you buy your papers. You'll find links to the OCB special offer and Roll With Me in the podcast show notes at casuallybaked.com. When I recorded these chats 2 years ago, I was beginning to learn about regenerative farming show and tell style while visiting cannabis farms in the Emerald Triangle. I remember how I felt witnessing what it all meant in action and then looking at everything differently afterward. It was a beautiful and life-changing experience for me. And so absolutely the way it's meant to be. Simple and nurturing. And fun and committed and rewarding, just like any other relationship I want to be in. And I gotta say, I began nurturing and appreciating my relationship with nature even more after meeting the amazing humans, goats, cannabis, and pumpkins at Briceland Forest Farm. So roll up some of the good stuff, my friend, and settle in for these tales of cannabis harvest. It's time to get casually baked.
I got the bottle of wine, the high dollar kind. I got the West Coast smoke, but I better just take one toke.
To mind for me when I picture harvest, on our farm we have this great herd of goats. There's about 12 of them at their peak at the time of this story, and we have quite a long distance between where we pull the cannabis, cut the cannabis down for harvesting off of the plants in the field, and where we take it to process and prepare it to hang and dry. And we would, at different times over our farm's history, we now do it on this groovy electric vehicle that we haul big loads over on. But back when this was going on, we were just carrying big bundles of from the feed sacks, the outsides of feed sacks, we'd make big bundles that we'd do duct tape handles on and just carry them on our sides this long distance. And the goats roam all over our homestead. We've kind of fenced ourselves in, and they do fire safety clearing all along the outside. And we had just bundled big stacks of this weed ready to kind of green leaf it and get it ready for hanging. And coming back to the house to get some water, I heard one of the women who was helping us just screaming at the top of her lungs, and I couldn't hear what she was saying, and I ran back, and as I got closer I could hear her saying, the goats are coming. And they descended on that weed like locusts. They were fighting over it. They were eating it faster than we could possibly get it out of their mouths. and loving it. It's like the greenest, juiciest, most loved plant, and it comes in at a time of year when the grass is so dry and the trees are just crispy dry, and this is just like the most luscious, delicious food they could have. And they got through a significant portion of that haul before we were able to disperse them. And we had to do like escorts the rest of that harvest season because once they had tasted it, it was all they could think of. So we had the people carrying in the harvest, and then either myself or Daniel would have to guard the crop as it was coming in. But
you had goat patrol.
Goat patrol. And you have to be dedicated to be a goat when it wants to eat something. So yeah, that's one of the stories that always comes to my mind. It was sweet, and you know, we got to drink that cannabis in their milk. It was it was in there.
I would like some of that goat
fancy cheese.
Yes. Oh my God, that's insane. I love it. And also, you know, we have 2 toddlers at home. That can't be easy being a mom during harvest.
Not at all. So
how do you manage the babies while you're trying to do all this?
It's a lot of it has been that I manage the babies. So this has been one of the years. It's been a kind of a continual humbling the last 2 years. Once the second child came into our lives, it was easy to strap one kid on my back and continue to help in the harvest and all over the farm. And with the second kid, it became a full-time job. So I always make sure they're involved and a part of it, but it's more like we do visits and go hang out and see every harvest from, you know, the harvesting the winter squash and the corn to the cannabis. You know, I really want them to understand the ins and outs of the farm that's their legacy. But it's more than I ever imagined it could be.
Yeah, putting down the plants and picking up the Legos.
Yes.
I love it. Well, you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
And happy harvest.
Thank you so much.
Last week, I told you about my falling off the wellness wagon and getting the not-so-subtle reminder that consistency is key to making a lasting impact on chronic pain and inflammation. So I'm happy to report that I am back in the groove of taking my 90 milligrams of Dr. Love's CBD per day, and my pain levels and mobility, they are improving. Now, you know that I am a self-empowered health nerd, so obviously I got online and pulled up my genetic endocannabinoid report. If you'll recall from some podcast episodes past, I've had David Krantz, my epigenetic coach, on. Well, he updates my endocannabinoid report periodically as new data becomes available. And I hadn't taken a look at it in a while, and herding was excellent motivation. Anyway, I noticed something I hadn't seen before. My CBD metabolism is in the ultra-fast category, which means I'm likely to break down CBD very quickly and completely within my body. The conclusion being that higher doses may be advisable to receive my desired effects. Ding! People, that's great information. The girl with all the genes for inflammation metabolizes CBD like an Olympic champion. So, I've decided to double down. I'm now supplementing with even more CBD. I follow my Bliss Relief program by Dr. Love's CBD, and then I give myself some CBD honey in my afternoon tea, and I leave a bottle of CBD oil on my desk, and I give myself a dose under the tongue every time I see that bottle staring at me. So I know I'm upwards of 120 milligrams of CBD per day. But that's me. Remember, we're all precious snowflakes. What I hope is that by walking you through my journey to finding relief, that it empowers you on your own. Dr. Love CBD offers a variety of doctor-designed CBD formulations, CBD beauty products, and complete monthly wellness programs. Each rest, relief, and balance box comes with a 2-month supply of CBD plus supplements, a detailed program guide, and a tracking journal. All of Dr. Love's CBD products are made in America with the highest quality ingredients and sold at fair prices so more people can have access. And during October, if you use promo code BAKED, you'll receive a huge 20% discount on Dr. Love's CBD programs and products. Shop and learn more at drlovecbd.com. That's drlovecbd.com. I'll keep walking the walk and sharing the love, and I hope you'll join me.
Yes, it is.
I'd love to tell a couple harvest stories from back in the old days. So I've been growing cannabis for probably 25 years, and previous to being a homesteader here in Humboldt, I was living in the jungle in Hawaii, and when I was growing there, I had a patch.
Are you ready to make bad days a thing of the past? I invite you to explore the why behind the things you do every day that make you feel awesome. In his new book, Make It a Great Day, author Jarrett Robertson shares small ideas you can use to feel your best. So the next time you're looking for ways to improve your day or mood, you're empowered to do just that. Your day can't control you when you follow this roadmap to thrive. Purchase Make It a Great Day on Audible or online at makeitagreatday.ca.
About a mile away from my house in some undeveloped forest land, and there was a highway between my house and my patch, and what I'd have to do is drop off all my equipment and my backpack and everything in the middle of the night. Then come morning time when it was light, I'd jog over there like I was just a runner, with my fanny pack, over to where my equipment was, jump into the bushes, change into my camouflage, and get everything, and hike about 20 minutes to my patch, and then plant harvest, tend to my plants, and stuff all my harvest in my fanny pack, and jog back to my house and hang it in my closet. And I'd plant a couple plants and harvest about an ounce every week when I went there. And I can only imagine I was one of the nicest smelling joggers along that stretch of highway.
I love it. And so once a week, this was your exercise, plus you get to come home with booty.
Yeah, exactly. In Hawaii during a good chunk of the season, the day length makes so things just go to flower as soon as you put them out. So it's short season there. You put it out, it goes to flower. You put it out, it goes to flower. So I'd start little starts with a little bit of supplemental lighting in front of my house with a fluorescent, and then I'd plant a couple little plants out and harvest a couple little plants every week.
Nice. Just goes to show, like, harvest is different everywhere.
Yeah, and it kept me in smoke and kept my surfboard repaired and gas in my truck, and
and gave you all the tools you needed to be one badass grower here.
A lot of years in between.
Right on. Well, happy harvest.
Together, yes,
So this past year was my first ever big outdoor harvest. This July we had a light deprivation harvest, and before then I had only done indoor work for the most part. I started my work in cannabis in college at a small dispensary in Vermont. That was actually my internship. So I was doing lots of small 12-plant harvests every 2 months, basically, on an indoor system, and got kind of sick of that very quickly, because at the time I was studying sustainable agriculture. So I was learning about how industrial agriculture is terrible for our environment, and at the same time I was trying to get into the cannabis movement, but I was stuck in this industrial model. So I wanted to look at places around the country where people were growing cannabis organically and with food. So the only farm I could find that really did that was Briceland Forest Farm and Happy Days Farm. So I found them on the WWOOFer website, Briceland Forest Farm, and sent them my credentials, my email, resume, and all of that, and they got back to me, and now I'm here. So I'm doing my first outdoor grow.
I love it. And so you were in a space where you were learning about cannabis, but in a very controlled indoor way. And so I love your story of, like, going out and finding what you were looking for.
Yeah.
So I've never heard of this website you mentioned. Tell me.
WWOOFing? Worldwide Opportunities for Organic Farmers. And it's all around the world. Basically, what it is farmers who need help and are willing to give work in exchange for education. So if you go on the website and sign up, you can find farms all across the country, all across the world, that are willing to take in workers usually for room and board and education. But you can find places that also will pay you. There's a lot of diversity for the types of farms you can find on there. So in my case, I went onto the WWOOF USA website and I just typed in cannabis. And of course, a bunch of places in California came up, and I just went through until I found people that actually did organic food farming and cannabis.
I love it. I love it. So this is your very first harvest in Humboldt County.
Yep. First season, first year in Humboldt County ever. And I don't plan on leaving.
Okay. I love it. I love it. You know what? I think I may check back in with you. We may need to do a full episode and talk about your experience.
Heck yeah. That sounds great.
All right. Well, happy harvest to you.
Thank you.
Are you ready to experience the roots of cannabis culture? Consider a casually baked day trip or retreat in the beautiful wine and weed country of Northern California. As your host and cannabis lifestyle guide, I've cultivated a one-of-a-kind farm stay experience and exclusive Emerald Triangle access. Enjoy the casually baked lifestyle and the magic of sun-grown cannabis farms and vineyards. If you're into wine, weed, weather, wellness, or like me, all of the above, get ready to have a high time customized just for you. Learn more at casuallybaked.com/travel. That's casuallybaked.com/travel. I am truly delighted to be on this journey with you, and I want to help build your Canna confidence in ways that are meaningful for you. So don't be shy. Email your requests or Canna curious questions through the website at casuallybaked.com. Or you can always DM me on social. I'm at Casually Baked on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and the WeedTube. And if you're picking up what I'm putting down, become a podcast patron already for $5 per month. I mean, that's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, which they burn their shit. Go to patreon.com/casuallybaked. We're in this together, my friend, inviting smart and open dialogue about true wellness and plant medicine. So Starbucks won't ever be a sponsor on this show. But you, thank you for doing your part to puff, puff, pass it on.
Is a high time. We had a high time together.
Casually Baked, the podcast, was created, recorded, and produced by yours truly. Editing and sound design are in the capable hands of Arnav Gupta. The podcast theme music is by my highly talented friend Seth Walker. If you aren't familiar with Seth's music, you can find High Time on his album Gotta Get Back wherever you're buying your music these days. I know he didn't create High Time for me, but it sure as shit sounds like he did, right? I hope you'll tune in next time. Thanks for hanging out.